Welcome, everybody, to episode 8 of Big Money Talks with Big Money Drew Nicholas. That is moi. A little bit of French for you there. Um, so I wasn't planning on doing a show this week or next week or the week after, but I'm actually in the mood to talk, even though I really shouldn't be talking right now. I have stuff that I need to get done, but I figured, I'm not going to be around much next week. And then Money in the Bank is coming up. So I'd have to talk about Money in the Bank, plus a few weeks of shows that I didn't recap and get my thoughts out there on. So why not just do this show now and get my opinions, while mostly negative, out there? Um, So yeah, basically, I'm just doing this on the fly, like I did last time, uh, because who has time or energy to really invest in WWE right now? Like, I mean, it's tiring and annoying mostly. There's things that like stick out, that are decent. One in particular being the Samoa Joe Paul Heyman segment on Raw this past week. That was a really, really good segment to come out of a lackluster Samoa Joe main roster run thus far. Um, that probably was the highlight of the week for me, and we'll see what happens next week when Brock Lesnar comes back. But yeah, I mean that was the best Joe has looked on the main roster. And that whole dynamic between him and Paul Heyman, that was a really good thing to watch. So I really enjoyed that, and I'm hoping that we get one hell of a brawl on Monday. And by the way, speaking of Monday, um, so this will be the first day since WrestleMania that we see Brock Lesnar and Raw's top title, which, boy, just looking at a calendar really quickly, we're in June in the year of our Lord 2017. We've gone 1 week, 2 weeks, including this week. 1 week, 2 weeks, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks, or 10 or 11 weeks or so since WrestleMania, that we've not seen the guy who won Raw's top championship. So that's weird. And I don't know what's going to happen come Monday, but it seems like we might get a brawl between Brock and Joe. I'm hoping that's what we get at least, because Brock brawls are generally fun to watch. Uh, I'm a sucker for those. I don't know if you are, but I enjoy them. Even though I'm upset that we haven't seen him since WrestleMania, but that's neither here nor there. Um, so last week I talked about the Bailey Alexa segment, the "This Is Your Life" Bailey segment, which was probably the worst thing I've watched since the Kane, Seth Rollins, human resources segment with that woman that they trotted out. Uh, that was the worst segment to date for me on WWE TV until Bailey and the This Is Your Life segment. Um, and something kind of clicked with me today as I was watching um, the Mark remark. I don't know if anybody knows about who's listening right now, if you know about the Mark remark, but that's from, man, I wish I knew the guy's name. I know his YouTube name. It's Little Kuriboh. It's Kuriboh. His name is Martin. I know, but I don't know like his full name, so you would have to like look it up. But yeah, I was watching the Mark remark, and basically laughing my ass off as I do when I watch the Mark remark, and they focused on a majority of the show was focused on the Bailey "This Is Your Life" segment. Um, it was real trash, that segment, and I watched it, but I didn't really click with me what it was that was being said in this segment, where basically Vince McMahon, the owner of the WWE, told, or not told physically, but rather approved a segment on WWE television with the heel who we're not supposed to relate to. We're supposed to relate to the babyface, where the heel told us that the babyface was a loser for watching Monday Night Raw instead of going out with her friends. Let me say that again, just so that you understand what it is that I'm saying. Vince McMahon, the head bitch in charge of WWE, told a writer who gave him the Bailey "This Is Your Life" segment, okay, this is good for my television, my TV show, my wrestling company, in which the heel tells the crowd that the babyface was a loser for watching Monday Night Raw. Is it sinking in now? I hope it's sinking in now. That is probably the most ridiculous fucking thing I have ever heard. I mean, imagine you're trying to get people to, be behind your product, and all of a sudden you're telling them that they're losers for watching the television show that they're supposed to be watching to, make you money, essentially. I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. And for us to be entertained, of course, but that rarely happens these days. But yeah, so we are being told by Alexa Bliss that Bailey is a loser for watching Monday Night Raw on Monday night instead of going out with her friend. So, yeah, that kind of makes you feel like crap, doesn't it? Makes me feel like crap. And that's really why I was kind of like pissed off. And, the Mark remark didn't usually piss me off. And Sal, I see Sal in the chat there, he loves Little Kariboh's Mark. Yeah, it's so funny, and I would love to talk to that guy one day because he's he sees the light in what is very dark in WWE and makes it just incredibly funny. I have to tell you, watching the Mark makes me pay attention to commentary more just to see what dumb shit they're spewing. Um, yeah, I just wanted to get my opinion out on that. That how unbelievably dumb it is to pretty much just tell your audience that they're dumb for watching the show instead of spending their time with friends outside. Or I mean, I must be really dumb because I live in Brooklyn and I could be in the city, or I could be at Coney Island, or I could be, you know, bike riding along the shore by Verrazano Bridge. I mean, I could be doing so many different things with my time instead of watching Monday Night Raw. And I wouldn't expect Monday Night Raw to be telling me that. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so Raw this week, aside from the Paul Heyman and Samoa Joe segment, was not really up to par for me. I mean, I didn't see the whole thing. I know that Bray and Roman had a match where Roman won. And I know Seth Rollins and Samoa Joe had a match, but I didn't really care about that because I don't care about them wrestling each other anymore. And I just don't care a lot. And Finn wasn't even on the show this week. Finn Balor, who, is just, it was interesting that they did that segment with him and Paul Heyman a few weeks back, and then Finn ended up not winning at Extreme Rules. But, and then he doesn't show up, he's not on the show. They don't have anything for him to do except come out for a dark match. But, I don't run the company, so I don't try to. I wouldn't even want to run a huge company like WWE. That's just way too much work, way too much. But I think if I did, I would probably do better than what's going on right now, to be honest. Maybe I don't have the best ideas or the brightest ideas, but I sure know that a This Is Your Life segment is not something that should be on 2017 WWE television. And especially a really stupid one like that one. Yeah, and Alexa versus Nia, don't really care. I don't care about the cruiserweights except Neville still, and Jack Gallagher, who is not on TV, and Kalisto versus Titus happens. That was nothing. I didn't watch it. I don't care. I don't care about Titus O'Neil. Now this week, though, the two segments that I was interested in last week, they continued with. Thanks, Sal. I know I couldn't do worse, so really. So the two segments that I was interested in, the text with Corey Graves and Kurt Angle, and then who is attacking Enzo Amore. They continued that with a really quick Angle Corey Graves segment, and then what they did with the other segment this time is they had Cass be attacked from behind, and Enzo trying to find out who attacked. So that was interesting. I think that that's something where it now doesn't seem like it's Cass that was attacking Enzo. Um, I mean, of course, you never know. They could do like, oh, Enzo, Cass, he, you know, attacked himself, say, and knocked himself out, or whatever. You know, they came up with This Is Your Life. They can come up with anything. Um, Basically, I mean, that's if you can do that, anything goes at this point. And then the last thing, Heath Slater and Rhino versus Cesaro and Sheamus. That was a pretty decent match. I did watch that one because I am into what Cesaro and Sheamus are doing right now. It was pretty quick, but I think that, you know, the heel turn, it made that division interesting on Raw for them. And then we'll see what happens with the Hardys, who are not going to be on TV because Matt and Rebby just had a baby. So congratulations to them. And I don't know if they're going to have Jeff doing single stuff or what. Part of me is hoping that they didn't have them drop the titles just because Matt and Rebby were expecting a child. And then they just come back and win it back right away. That would be, I don't think I would like that. Though I have enjoyed the Hardys being back. I don't think I want to see like that weird transitional thing because Cesaro and Sheamus right now, they should not be transitional champs. And they don't feel like transitional champs. So maybe that won't be the case. So I'm hoping for that. So on to SmackDown. SmackDown I watched more of, and that was a better show. The women's Money in the Bank briefcase was revealed, and it doesn't look bad, I have to be honest. It doesn't look bad. It's white with a little gold trim. It's not that bad. I like the contrast, actually, between all the colors, the green, the white, and the gold. I think that actually looks better than the just all gold that the other briefcases. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that that's going to be a good match. A lot of people are saying that it might not be, but I don't know. I mean, I saw that the brawl that they did last week before Shane McMahon introduced Women's Money in the Bank match at the pay-per-view, I thought that was a really good brawl, and it seemed like if they book it that way, the match could be great. So I don't know. I mean, it seems like the match would be great to me. So the whole Lana deal, um, you know, I don't know. I mean, I don't think Lana's going to win this championship from Naomi, but you never know these days. And yeah, I don't really want to talk about that because it just makes me nervous. I don't want to talk about Lana. We'll move on. The Fashion Files. We had that is a absolute just joy and pleasure to watch every week, and I'm so happy that they're continuing with that, even though they're not Then having Fandango and Tyler Breeze go for the championships at this time. Very happy that they're continuing those segments. Funny. It's funny every week. I've never not enjoyed a Fashion File segment. So I hope that that continues. It was nice to see AJ get the win over Dolph. I mean, of course, it seemed like it seemed like that loss from AJ last week was a fluke. Um, if so, shit happens, of course, and Dolph just getting a win like that was so out of the blue. So it probably was a fluke. So nice to see that they fixed that this week at least and gave AJ the win. Oh, so another thing that happened that I found funny was Jinder versus Mojo Rawley. Now, if your memory can go back to WrestleMania, you'll remember that Jinder and Mojo were the last two people in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, in which Mojo used basically the power of Rob Gronkowski and won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. At that time, nobody gave a crap about Jinder Mahal, and Jinder was just another jobber that they didn't have anything for, so they stuck him in the jobber match to see who was going to win the meaningless Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal trophy. Last year it was Baron Corbin, who had a decent year, I'd say. Not like the greatest, but I think out of all of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winners, I would say that Corbin had the better year coming out of the match than the other winners. And now, as I say that, I will now say I think Mojo is probably having the worst year out of the winners coming out of the match. Because the poor guy, and I'm not really a fan of him, but the poor guy won the match, right? He wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal with the help of a popular football star, and then is not on TV for weeks. And then comes back to TV in a weird tour guide segment with children, I think like 3 weeks ago or a month ago. Then comes back to TV again and faces the same guy that was in the ring with him at the end of the Andre the Giant match. Except this time, the guy that he was in the end of the Andre the Giant match with is now the WWE champion. So I kind of feel a little bad for Mojo. I mean, the guy won that match, and Jinder was geeked by a football player. And then we come to June, and he's in a match with the same two people, and the guy who got geeked by the football player is now the WWE champion. And lost the match against a guy who was geeked by a football player and is now WWE champion. And I didn't see all of Talking Smack, but Mojo was on Talking Smack and was so humble that he was given the opportunity by Shane McMahon to have a match, as a WWE SmackDown superstar, and basically just get geeked himself. So I guess what goes around comes around, as the phrase says. Yeah, the gender stuff, man, I'm done with the gender stuff. I was in on it for a little bit back when, I was thinking about my high school friend who resembled Jinder with his two friends that resembled the Singh brothers. But man, I'm just really not into it anymore. And you know what? A lot of people are sour on Randy Orton, but I actually like Randy Orton. Maybe his attitude is not that great. Maybe his wrestling when he's not motivated is not that great. But I would much rather see him with the title back than go through more of this gender stuff. And honestly, gender is just not that good. That's the thing. Like, I'm not really a fan of Arya Davari either, but I almost kind of wish it was him in this position more. And I don't even know if I don't even think Araya Davari is Indian. But this is one of those unfortunate times where, a business decision is clouding what the fans want. And yeah. So yeah. I'm done with the gender stuff. Let's just leave it at that. I'm done with the gender stuff. I did like Kevin Owens and Shinsuke Nakamura. I thought that was a pretty good match. I think that, Corbin coming in and laying out Shinsuke at the end after Shinsuke won, I think that was a really good end of the show. And man, Shinsuke took that end of days like a pro. Like, that was probably one of the best sells of the end of days I've seen. Dolph did it pretty well also, but man, the way Shinsuke just like flails over, with his legs and just like convulsing on the mat after after Corbin hit him with it was just great. Like, I really enjoyed that. Watching that was very interesting, and that's why I said before, I think that Corbin is probably the best booked Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner. Because he's been involved in the main event segments. He's been involved in big time matches, and I really enjoy him. And I enjoy booing him too. That's the thing, like, a lot of people get on Kevin Owens' case because he like plays to the crowd and he gets cheered and that's kind of like his thing, and he's supposed to be a heel. But I like Kevin Owens, I'm a Kevin Owens fan, but I like that Baron Corbin does nothing to make you cheer him. He's just a cocky guy beating up our heroes, spitting in our faces, taking our money, and loving it. And that excites me when he's in a match. Like, he doesn't give a crap about the fans. He doesn't pose with fans. He doesn't, you know, as far as I know, he doesn't mostly do any nice things on like Twitter and Instagram or whatever with fans, like a lot of um, WWE superstars do. And I enjoy that. And I enjoy booing him, which is what a normal babyface is supposed to, what a normal heel is supposed to be like, you know? So Miz was that way with me for a while, but then once Miz and the Daniel Bryan stuff happened on Talking Smack, and that dynamic between the two of them blossomed onto television. I just thought that was the greatest thing that Miz has ever done. So I became a fan of Miz, and now I don't like booing Miz anymore. So Corbin basically took that role. And now I just enjoy booing the hell out of Corbin and watching him lose, because I know in his loss he's only getting better. And I'm interested in seeing, what they do with him for SummerSlam and the rest of the year. And I just don't want him to win. I've never had this type of a thing before. Well, because also, I can say that because I didn't clarify. With Miz, I didn't like Miz when I was booing him. Miz basically had go away heat with me. So Miz went from go away heat to almost, top interest on the list. So, yeah, I mean, that was great to see that they did that whole segment with him and Daniel Bryan, and then it propelled him into this incredible, like, next level. Like, he's up here when it comes to promos and shooting. Like, he's just so far up. It's wonderful, and it made me a fan of him. So I can't, like, boo him anymore. I just can't boo him. I boo the booking sometimes, but with him, I'm a fan now. Um, and now I'm a fan of booing Corbin, and I'm a fan of Corbin too. But I like that he is just a jerk. I like that he's a jerk, and I like that he is a typical heel that wants the boos and doesn't want cheers. And I think it works great for him. Also, I really miss Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack, and I'm tired of watching Shane. So I just can't really get into Talking Smack anymore until Daniel Bryan comes back. Uh, Shane has gotten better, I'll say, but it's kind of boring to me. Um, yeah, Sal, Corbin is a rare breed. He really is. You know, it is really nice to have a heel that gets booed, for sure. Other than that, I mean, uh, it's not paranoia, it's the Usos. Man, I fucking love those promos. Those promos are so great. And I'm so happy that New Day is back. And I never thought that I would say that, because I was really tired of New Day. Really tired of them. And I don't know if it was just like where I was in my fandom at the particular time when they came back or what, but I'm enjoying them again like I was for a little while last year. Um, and then them and the Usos, that's gonna be real fun. Because they're all friends, so they're gonna really play it up, and it's gonna be really exciting to see at Money in the Bank. So, uh, yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I got. Uh, I went through everything I really wanted to when everything I wanted to go through, I went through, and um, that's it. Uh, I have work and finals coming up this week, so I'm not going to do big money talks this coming week. Also, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do big money talks the week after, but we'll see. That'll be the 21st. Um, I'm going to be going away for a few days, so I don't exactly know when it is that week. I don't know if it's going to be on Wednesday, if it's going to be after Wednesday, but I will keep everybody updated on the Twitter machine, um, which is at Nicholas Drew 91, if you want to go follow me there. And I'm hoping that, my closing statement for Big Money Talks this week, I'm just hoping that WWE decides to not tell me that I'm dumb anymore for watching this show. I don't think that that's going to happen, but it would be nice for that to happen, because a lot of things I feel are either insulting my intelligence, and I'm not really that smart, but I know when I'm being played, and I don't want to get a feeling that I should be spending my time elsewhere. Because at the end of the day, I'm a big WWE fan, but this company just has a weird relationship with its fans. So I'm hoping, by next week I'm gonna have a crazy week. So hopefully Raw and SmackDown kick ass, and hopefully Money in the Bank kicks ass, and I hope you kick ass because we should all kick ass in life, and strive to be the best and to do what it is that we love. I try to do that every day at least. I hope you do too. So that's it for Big Money Talks this week. Thank you to Sal Kuzmano for being in the live chat with me. And to everyone else, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being you. And bye for now.